share the slide.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Hello, gorgeous. You look
Good
great.
morning for one more minute.
Yeah. Do you want to screen share the thing? The slide deck, or do you want to make me host
Sure.
you know
Uh,
how to do it, right?
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
also make you co-host though. Hi, John John.
Or do you want me to do it and just pop through? Oh, Jack.
Hi,
Oh,
Jacqueline.
hi. Cool in. Oh, hello. You're not John John, are you? Are you John John?
It's
No.
Jacqueline.
Okay, then who's John John? Hi, John John.
John
Do
is here.
you want to come or you want to come on camera or are you good? Okay.
I'm just gonna quickly grab my water and I'll be right back.
Yeah, great. Wonderful. We're going to get started here, everyone. So grab your waters, grab your paper, pencil, your notes, and going to just bring us into the deck. Oh, hi, Patrick. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Oh, hi, Heather. Nice to see you. This is so
Hi, so
great.
nice to see you too.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is wonderful. Yay. Hey guys. Well, Alexis is just coming back. She's just grabbing her water. And so, welcome. We're going to be getting into the overview and vision of Holistica and the opportunity to join us in creating a really beautiful co living retreat center sanctuary in Italy. And so, for those of you who don't know, my name is Amy, and others of you know me as Phoenix. I'm a entrepreneur, an embodiment coach, as well as the pioneer and founder behind Holistica. And I'm here with my regenerative real estate agent and business partner, Alexis Kavanaugh.
Yeah. Good morning or good afternoon now, everybody.
Good
A
afternoon.
little bit of a cloudy day out there, but perfect day to be dreaming of far and away places that are a lot sunnier than here in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yes, hence Italy, hey?
Yeah, super
Yeah.
exciting. Have you guys, has
Mhm.
anyone on this call been to Italy before? A
Okay.
couple,
Oh, I
two?
see a nod.
Okay, good to know. And also, if you guys have any questions, like feel free to put them into the chat. I'm going to be popping in there and answering any of the questions and kind of monitoring it that way as well.
Yeah, and so we're going to start off with about, like I would say, 15 to 20 minutes just presenting what Holistica is. And then we want to use the rest of the time, about 20 to 30 minutes for questions, dialogue, conversation around this. So just wanted to kind of presence that. But to start, the opportunity with Holistica is to join us in creating a retreat center sanctuary as well as a co-living sanctuary. So being part of Holistica as a partner means that you get an opportunity to stay at the property for anywhere from a week, a couple of days to year round, along with being able to run retreats, events, workshops, trainings. But the beauty of Holistica is that it is hands off. So you don't have to worry about managing the property if you don't want to be involved in that. You can also rent out, your investment room back into the rental pool. So just a brief overview, we have already secured one of our anchor partners at $500,000. So we only have a few more spots that we want to offer to people just to keep our partner pool small for this first project. And the minimum investment to join us is $100,000 USD. And these are the estimated net annual returns, and we'll get more into the financials here shortly. But what is Holistica and why has Holistica come about? I have been in the co-living space here in British Columbia for the last 15 years, and I have seen firsthand that we are in like a crisis of belonging. We are at this really interesting crossroads where like millennials, myself being an elder millennial, boomers, like we're kind of at this like really interesting cultural rupture, that stacks on top of each other, where there's a lot of economic instability. A lot of jobs have moved online, obviously loneliness. And then also like there's a big collapse of traditional community structures, right? In terms of the nuclear family system, which has really created, I think, a really beautiful opportunity for people to come back to like, well, what does it mean to live in community? What does it mean to have a village, right? I see this with mothers, families, parents, elders. We are really looking at like, elders getting sent off to homes, care homes, like, and I think that this crisis has given us an opportunity to look towards what do we want? And that is where I've been building collective homes and communities for the past 15 years successfully. And this is kind of where this whole idea came about, was to actually create a project that actually has roots with creating a place for community to gather, to be able to co-live should one want to. And so what that means is looking at co-owned sanctuaries in beautiful locations around the world that are designed for cultivating community, gatherings like breathwork, somatic therapy events, music, celebration, creating spaces for belonging, as well as supporting the people that are stewarding these places through their investment, through their fiscal investment, as well as their emotional investment, and offering really great rewards to our partners through helping them have places to stay eventually around the world, and also having community to stay with around the world, as well as generating passive income from the events, retreats, trainings, gatherings that are held at these properties. So that's our model. And this really interesting model focuses around an ecosystem of, let's start with events and workshops. So having a space for events and workshops take place at our Holistica property, right? And these events would cater to those that are local in the area in which we're looking at purchasing our first property, which is in Italy, as well as people that are international, people from the surrounding area, other parts of Europe, micro festivals, you name it. And then shorter term stays and retreats. So things like Airbnb rentals for people that just want to come for a few days, for a training retreat, gathering, or just something unique out of the box. And retreats, like week-long, 2-week-long retreats. And then longer term residencies. So these would look like people coming to rent for anywhere from 3 months to 12 months. And then also our partners, who would be co-owners of the property, being able to come and stay anywhere from a couple of days to 2 weeks to year round if they want. And our communities of interest are people that are really interested in conscious community, healing, embodiment, people like digital nomads, people into Burning Man culture, breathwork, festivals, creative arts, and regenerative wellness. It's kind of our intersection. And before we get into the property itself that we are looking at creating and purchasing, we would, as the organization, offer the management of the property itself. So our partners would really get an opportunity to kind of be hands-off if they want to, right? If a partner comes in and they're like, you know what, I really want to join Holistica, I want to join this Italy adventure with you. I'm a chef, like I think I could, be amazing. I'd love to like actually have a role in this, the property itself. Great. Like create yourself a job. That would be amazing. Like, let's go. But for a lot of people, like one of our main anchor partners, he already has his own business. He just loves traveling to Italy. He goes there every year. He had a really transformational experience with ayahuasca, changed his life. He understands the power of retreat centers, right? And community places. So for him, he doesn't want any opportunity to like be hands-on with the project. He just wants to be able to come when he wants to come, get taken care of, maybe come to retreats and then dip out. We also offer a revolutionary fractional ownership model. So over the past year, I've really researched like the fractional ownership space. And for those of you who are new to it, think about who's familiar with, what is it when you go to Mexico and they rope you into those
Timeshares.
timeshares? Yeah. So timeshares, they feed you margaritas. They take you on this tour of like, this property and they're like, yeah, it looks amazing. Well, what is the downside of a timeshare? Anyone know what the downside is? I'm going to pop in the chat. I want to see if anyone can guess. What is like one downside of a timeshare? Alexis, do you know? What do you think?
I mean, one of many. One is that you can't go there when you want. You don't have full ownership of it, of your space. You have a lot of limitations that are involved.
Yeah. And isn't there annual membership fees?
That too.
So not only are you investing, like sometimes it's like $100,000, $200,000 into this property, every year you have to pay an annual membership fee. And these annual membership fees, I was researching them, they're like anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. And you're like, okay, so I'm paying this to go and stay in a home like that I guess I co-own and I have like, like the ones in different parts of the world. It's like great, but I could have gone and stayed in I don't know, like an Airbnb and paid like maybe $1,000, right? And it's just like, wow, is it actually worth it? And so with our management company and with our fractional ownership model, you're not paying any annual fees. Okay. So it's something I just wanted to clarify. And then lastly, you have access to this transformational community that, is going to be there because we're going to have a hybrid model of people living there year round, along with people coming in for retreats and trainings. Then lastly, obviously, you're investing into something that is a tangible asset-backed venture. Tech startups are great. Investing in, companies is amazing, but at the end of the day, right, they're built on dreams and ideas. And this is actually like a tangible physical real estate backed asset that you'd be co-owning. And just to kind of like share about the bigger vision of Holistica, is we are looking at creating 3 to 5 of these properties in places like Mexico, in different parts of the world over the next 10 years. And while each of these properties will be a standalone retreat center co-living space, we are looking at being able to offer members the opportunity to transfer their shares around, meaning that they can stay at the different properties year round, right? Based on your nomadic lifestyle. Because let's face it, I don't know, does anyone love traveling every year? Like, yeah, this is kind of what we're returning to as a species, is that I think culturally most peoples, they actually moved around nomadically. And I see a lot of trending towards returning to this lifestyle and model. And so this is what, our partners will have an opportunity to be part of. These are just some, obviously some stats around kind of the intersection that we would lie at as Holistica, which is obviously at the intersection of the wellness hospitality industry, which are things like transformational retreats, yoga retreats, breath work. Like we're just seeing this massively trend. It's looking to hit like 1.6 trillion. We're also at the intersection of regenerative real estate, which is real estate with a purpose that seeks to find a deeper sense of purpose and meaning, and returning back to the land, returning back to like regenerative ecosystems within the real estate sector. And then also the experiential culture sector, which is, a little bit out there, but, think about like Meow Wolf. Think about Meow Wolf. Does anyone know what Meow Wolf is? Is anyone familiar with Meow Wolf? Really cool, I don't know, like arts experience in the States. They have now created a bunch of different locations. Now they're venturing into the wellness sector, and they're creating like these experiential creative spas. So that's kind of like, again, Burning Man culture, experiential culture. Think of festivals, like people are really hungry for transformational experiences at the end of the day. Look at the retreat sector. It's just taking off. And so, Alexis, do you maybe want to talk about the property itself? Oh, hold on here.
Yeah,
And the location
I love it. It's giving us a little bit of a tour of the area itself and kind of having a look at that. But it's so true. How many people here have been to an experiential Airbnb yet? Anyone? One? Yeah. It's everybody wants experiences these days. You can, book anything that you want and, have like a regular hotel, but there's something so unique that people are drawn to experiences now, way more than it is just to like go to like a simple hotel. And so this property, I was just waiting till we get to like the next slide.
Oh, okay. I want to show them the Viterbo. This is
Oh,
Viterbo.
yes, let's do it.
Yeah. So the property is like 20 minutes. It's actually like a little bit, it's about 90 minutes outside of Rome that we've identified. So Alexis and myself with two sisters, we went to Italy about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, it was about a month and a half ago.
Yeah. And we did a scouting mission. Sorry.
Yeah, it was amazing. So like from Rome itself, it's only about an hour. From the actual airport, it's 90 minutes, so an hour and a half to get there. And along the way, you have these like beautiful little towns, and we're gonna have a shuttle that takes you right from the airport that's gonna take you right to our site. So it's super seamless. And when you arrive, we're going to go through these different towns, along with they also have some hot springs, which are in the area too. So who doesn't like hot springs?
Yeah, so this is the neighboring town with the hot springs, and then this is the actual property itself. So as you can see, it's really quaint, and this is the property. So it's a 16th century Benedictine monastery, and it's quite large. It's 55,000 square feet. It's beautiful. It comes with like this 11th century like little chapel that it was built around. It has a cafe with like all these like little cafe rooms. It's got a really great large church hall, which can be used for breathwork, ecstatic dance, gatherings, retreats. It's got this beautiful courtyard, which you can see here. And there's a little bit of like renovation and painting like that needs to be done to it, but otherwise it's in really great condition. And then like it has things like a library shop, which would be great for like a gift shop. The place is massive. The place is massive. It's so beautiful. It's got 2 dining halls. So one could be transferred into a co-working space, I think, like this purpose space. It would be great for co-working. It's got 34 bedrooms with an additional 8 bedrooms. So, even at 10 bedrooms being given to our investors, partners, there's still another 30 bedrooms, and we have permitting to keep up to 55 people overnight, each night, on the property, which is really amazing. So some of the bedrooms are singles, some of them are doubles, some of them have en suites, and then some of them have shared bathrooms. So there's a diversity of rooming accommodations. And then, and otherwise it comes actually fully furnished, the property. So all of the furnishings come with the property, which is mind blowing. Like I'm talking 50 beds, all of this stuff. So really there's only light renovations that need to be done in order to kind of bring it up to a level of standard. Otherwise it comes fully furnished with everything that's needed to start operations right away. They are actually doing retreats right now on the property. This is another healing space. It could be a yoga room, meditation room, treatment room, which is really amazing. Beautiful backyard space used for gatherings, dance, ceremonies, festivals. there's a tennis court, side garden, vegetable garden, which is really great. And then they also have like solar panels. So I think they receive up to 6,000 euros per year on electricity because of the solar panels. So, which is really nice. Like the current owners have kept the property up in pretty good condition, considering that they are in their 70s. So that's kind of why they're selling the property. They just don't have the capacity to upkeep it, and their family doesn't want to keep running the property anymore. So that's why they're looking to share. It has two and a half actually. I made a typo, 2.5 acres of land. So there's all of this back area of land. There's like chickens, so we can put things like, a wood-fired sauna, which I want to do. Cold plunges, that kind of thing. I'll let Alexis share a little bit more about the property because she's really, really knowledgeable as a real estate agent.
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered most of it. It's really cool because the very first part when you walk in, there's this like really old chapel and it dates back to like around 1000 AD, like right before. So when you walk in, you just have this like incredible feeling. I don't know if we have a picture of that, but it it's like all made of stone and they have these like just really ancient artifacts and stuff in there as well. It's really breathtaking and really beautiful. So to own something like that, and even do like weddings or like different ceremonies in there would be pretty magical. So we're really excited about that. And then the rest of the chapel itself, there it is right here. It's just stunning. So that's when you first like walk in, it's right on the right-hand side. It's the very first part. And then they added on kind of as the years went on. So parts of the building is like older, and then parts of the building is a little bit newer. And so our intention to go in there is to keep, the parts that are older like that, to kind of remain as such. And then, yeah, as we were kind of going through the slide deck itself, we were talking about the how many bedrooms and whatnot that there are. I'm not sure if you can pop up that page at all, but it kind of shows us like an overview of what we can do in the property. So this is an overall view. As you can see that the convent house itself, there's a backyard area where it says back courtyard. The thing that I really like about that, just kind of on the left-hand side there, is that it's sheltered around the house. So if we want to have a lot more intimate activities outdoors, it's just stunning. You open the door and all you see are like these like lemon trees and flowers, and you get to go out there and like if you had a ceremony out there, or even just like, any kind of activities that we'd be doing, festivals, whatever it might be, it's just like it's primo because it's very private. Yeah, it's very private. So like no one's around us and it's just really intimate. And then the back forested and yard area in the back there too, there's lots of just beautiful trees. And when the sun is setting, it's just stunning. So if we have bigger events, we can also even like utilize that area. However, we don't need to worry about a lot of maintenance or upkeep as well. Some of the other properties that we were checking out were like 10, 20, 30 beyond acres. Now, the maintenance on something like that is intense. So something on this, manageable. We don't need much to worry about there. And then obviously the side garden, we would love to have a garden there so we can utilize the land that we have in a way that's more regenerative and that we can have for on site for all of our workshops and retreats as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And they
Yeah.
already have like currently a garden, but obviously you can bring in woofers and kind of expand it. And it'd be nice, yeah, grow food and then serve the food right, to guests would be really, really amazing. So there's lots of space to like expand that garden, with help from people that are experienced in that.
And just above there also, just to make note of that, that's also where the solar panels are. And the cool thing about that is they are actually putting money back into the grid, right? So a lot of what we're running our numbers for right now, we want to see, is this a viable option? And when we're looking at power, because it has all of these incredible solar panels, we're actually making money every single year. So that's amazing, especially when we're going to be running all of these incredible retreats to not only be connected to the grid, both with water and with power, we're actually making money back every single year.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And so like obviously like a main concern for people usually is like, well, what is the opportunity to actually like make this viable? Right. Because as I mentioned before, our business model is not to, suck, take money every year from our, partners through annual membership fees and management fees. That's like not our MO. Our MO is actually to obviously utilize the property for retreats, events, residencies, / like longer term rental partners, rental members, people that want to do like maybe a 3-month artist residency, and Airbnb rentals. And so actually after these are the profits after the annual operating expenses. So how our model works is that like the retreats and events and gatherings that I'd be helping to manage, whether it's externally, run, whether it's like with external partners, retreat facilitators, leaders, or internally organized from myself. Those profits go first towards the operating expenses, and then profits after that then would get returned back to our investors, which we have a full breakdown in the business plan package. But this is just like a look at like kind of how even in year one, like one of my gatherings, for example, it makes anywhere from like $10,000 to $30,000 here in Canada per night. So these are very modest projections because I don't like to overpromise, but this is basically after some very detailed calculations in our financial plan, which is really great. So this is like, you can expect maybe to get like $10,000 to $15,000 back per year to start in the first year on passive income, returns for our investors, which is not too bad in like a first or second year of business. And so, yeah, this is our just capital use breakdowns. So in our raise, the property itself is around 1.3. Apparently the European dollar just like tanked recently. So it's very on par with the US dollar, which is really great for us. So it's about 1.3 right now USD. And then this is just kind of a breakdown of how we'd be using the capital raised for the first year. But yeah, as a member and investor, we're going to be offering to our partners shared access because there's 40 bedrooms on this property. So we don't need to worry about like, oh, you can only use your room in the property. Like instead of with timeshares, it's usually like you get full access to the property, but because of the unique nature of this property, you'd be able to come and stay in your room whenever you want, or you can put it back into the rental pool. We'll manage it for you, and just take a small management fee of 20% from the income that's generated from your room. So you can kind of like book it out if you want to come and stay for like 3 months. It's yours to stay in. And then you're also part of like a global transformational community, which is kind of cool, right? So you're going to be able to meet people. It's kind of like my shared house right now. Like, we have people that come from around the world for retreats. We do retreats and events and gatherings, ayahuasca journeys. Like we've done it all outside of my community home here in Vancouver. And it's really great. You get to meet people from around the world, people that are, sharing similar interests in healing, transformation, regenerative stewardship. It's really amazing to meet people. This is what I love, is that it's an opportunity for you to host your own retreats and experiences as well, right? So as a partner, you're going to get an opportunity to host your own retreats and experiences. And depending on the tier, you can actually do that for free. Or otherwise it would be like a reduced rate. But still, that's the one big drawback that I have noticed myself as someone who does a lot of retreats, is that like the expenses needed, like the deposit, for example, can be anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 just to solidify a spot in a retreat center. And then from there, it's like, then you have to come up with, I did a retreat in Italy 3 years ago. It cost me $20,000 Canadian. Did I make any money from that retreat? No. Did I break even? Barely. because it's like at the end of the day, right? Like it's really, the cost is on you, but like if you want to do your own retreat as a partner, we're going to have an opportunity for you to do that. And we're just going to take 15% of your profits, and that's it. So you don't have to raise a certain amount of money in order to be successful, right? You're getting an opportunity to host in your very own retreat center. We're not going to, charge you $5, $10, or $15,000 a year. And then you're going to get profits back if you're in tier 2 or 3. And so like how we've structured it is that for $100,000 of investment at that tier, you'd be able to have access to your own private bedroom. And so this would be a bedroom that you can either stay in for as long as you want, or you can put it back in the rental pool and make profit off of that room. Unlimited access to all the amenities, no annual fees, meal plans available. So we're going to set up, obviously, having a chef to cater meals, because it's just too much work. And you know what? Like, it'd be really nice to be able to have meals made because we're going to need it for all the retreats and gatherings that we host here. And then discounted hosting rates. So that would be a 15% management fee taken from profits made on your retreat instead of a flat rental fee, which is really great, really, really great. So at the tier 2, this is where you would then be able to participate in the passive income profit share on profits from retreats, gatherings, anything that's held at the property over the year. And this is really nice because it's like, if there's only 2 or 3 people in this first project, and say we've made $150,000, that's going to go be split between our investors. Like you could be making anywhere from, like in year 2 and 3, like upwards of like 50 grand a year back. Like that's kind of awesome to receive. Right. And again, like I like to kind of look at things long-term. So usually the first year you're looking at building momentum, getting the word out there. So year 2 and 3 is really where you start to see like massive returns, but even then that's still great. Year 1 being able to receive something back, if possible, because let's face it, most businesses don't start seeing a profit until what, year 2, 3, 4, 5, Alexis, isn't that right? Like, and something like this is pretty steady, right? Retreats, Airbnb, it only continues to rise, right? In the global market. And then also at this tier 2, being able to have an annual complimentary experience. So being able to attend 1 retreat a year for free at no cost with you and a guest. I think that's totally fair. And then at the anchor partner spot, we only have 1 of these spots left. One of them's already been taken. That's where you get access to 4 bedrooms, so a whole suite of rooms, which again, you can always put in the rental pool. Access to the profit share, complimentary retreats and experiences, hands down. We don't care whatever you want to go to, up to you. You can stay there year round if you want and go to every single thing. And then concierge services, like, we have a partner in Italy, an old friend of mine actually, who lives only 30 minutes away from the property. And she also happens to run a giant travel company in Italy. Wow, amazing. So she'll be helping us to support our partners with just like things like getting cars to go and travel to Vienna or Venice, I don't know, whatever you need. And then also being able to host gatherings for free 2 or 3 times a year at no cost, up to 2 weeks. And then receiving an additional 3% ownership stake. And then also first right of refusal on future properties. So you will be the first to hear about the next property that we run and the opportunity to join that as well. Yeah, so that's kind of just an overview so far. And then just lastly, a little bit about myself. And I'll introduce Alexis and our other advisors and partners. I kind of started in catering, hospitality. So I have over 2 decades of like experience in hospitality, retreat management. I'm also a serial entrepreneur, so I built a lot of businesses. I've started and co-founded 7 collective living properties in the Greater Vancouver area. I was the one who helped kind of start the collective mansion trend here in Vancouver, which has now just fucking blown up, as Alexis knows. That was 15 years ago. And about 4 years ago, I also created a 34-acre eco community. Co-created that with a bunch of people. We raised $2.5 million to create this farm on Vancouver Island. And I also went to UBC and did a bachelor's in architecture. So I've been passionate about this stuff for like a really long time. It's my soul's work here. And then yeah, this is Alexis. Alexis, do you want to just like speak a little bit about your background? Because yeah, you're the
Sure. Yeah. So I'm in the regenerative real estate space that's helping people, visionary leaders just like Amy, who are looking to create unique experiences that are going to be for the health and wellness of people. And my background is investing in real estate. So it's a long time. I ran a investment focused real estate team here in Vancouver. I come from Alberta and have about 15 years of both real estate investing and real estate experience. And then I decided to convert that over into helping people and creating these beautiful spaces that are going to help nurture the land, help each other, and then also help community. And also, coincidentally enough, like the wellness tourism industry is like $1 trillion business. They're saying actually by next year now. So it's definitely on the rise. And so we're on the precipice of something beautiful. People are starting to wake up and see that there's much more to life than just going somewhere on your vacation to party and come back feeling like you need a vacation from your vacation. Am I right or am I right? So like it's just like it's happened too many times. And people are just starting to wake up and realize that they need something more. They're, as Amy was saying, their soul is craving for something deeper and meaningful. And that's the sacred space that we're creating together. And I'm just so grateful to be part of it.
Yeah, Alexis is amazing. She's connected to such a good global network of other leaders in this space. And yeah, I couldn't be doing this without her.
Thank you.
And then one of our other advisors is Taylor Ostman, and he is actually, Heather, I think you might have met Taylor. Yeah, Taylor has been in like the founder space for a long time, and he is brilliant AF. He has just been like such a great advisor, helping us look over agreements. He is someone that we consult to just kind of like have a look over blind spots, which is really important in this kind of field and work. And then we also have our Italian advisor, whoops, I can't see her name there, Jessie, who I've known for over 15 years. And it just so happens she's fluent in Italian. She's been hooking us up with support left, right, and center. And she also runs like one of Italy's biggest travel companies there. So she can help support like rides, from the airport if people are arriving at different times, because she basically manages a whole team of people across Italy that are drivers, specialized in vacation sales and that kind of thing. So it's been really, really super helpful. And she lives 30 minutes away, which is really great from the property. Yeah. And so with that, we'd love to kind of just connect with all of you and, explore discussion and questions. And so I want to check out some of the questions in here, but I'm curious if there's, I would love to open up space for someone to like unmute and like share their thoughts or what they're thinking, what this has stirred within them. Feel free to bring the hard questions too. I really love that.
Yeah, definitely. Q&A time, you guys.
Yeah.
Any questions about what we just talked about?
Quilin, you want to unmute?
Yeah,
I'll nominate you.
Oh, thank you. Great vision. I really have so much belief in this, project and participation and as well as having, conversations with some of capital equity investors, working in finance for 20 years and mortgages, it's kind of inevitable. I guess a couple of questions, and I'm just going to say it straight up.
Yeah, totally.
What factors, what contingencies have been factored in the event of another lockdown? You know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
the whole bullshit. Sorry for my, and this
Yeah, yeah.
whole, you know, yeah. So I think you know what I'm getting at. Like, we had it once in 2020, and that really
Mhm.
crippled a lot of industries, namely the travel industry, namely the event, where there's people gathering. So I'm not going to be this negative Nelly, but I'm just going to say, what contingencies do you have for that?
Yeah, that's a
How do
great
you factor that
question.
in?
Yeah. I mean, well, I think the first one would be is that because it's a hybrid model, like if you look at like most hotels, Airbnbs, they're not set up for co-living at all,
No,
right?
I know.
So because we have a hybrid model, like it's very flexible. If like say for example, COVID happened again or like a lockdown,
Whatever, yeah.
it's like you just create the community. Just, people can have rooms in the community, which is really great. Again, I have over 17 years of experience co-living.
Yeah.
So I understand how to like run, a collective community. I've lived with upwards of 11 people in homes before. Understand how to run circles, for conflict resolution. Like what's the word when you grok? Oh yeah, a grok community. Like that's why I'm doing this, right? Because when you have just kind of one model, you're kind of fixed into it. So then when something happens in the market, you're kind of sometimes fucked, right?
Yeah, so that's why I said, what are the contingency and how self-sustainable is what's the water source? Is it well water? Is it, because water is going to be
Is
one of
life.
the
Yeah.
primary.
Yeah, we do have
Yeah.
3 wells that are on site, like non-operational, but if we had to get a filtration system, we could. Right now, it's currently used for, one's just completely non-operational, but then the other ones that are on site, they're used for irrigation. So we could always easily put a filtration site on there if we need to. However, we are hooked up to the city. So it's good because there's multiple availability for water. That was one of the top things that I look at, is ensure that we have water, because water is life.
Mhm.
Great
Paramount.
question. Great question.
Yeah, I come
Yeah.
from a family of farmers in Alberta, and so it's
Me
the
too.
water quality,
Yeah.
right? The water quality, and
What
just
area are you from?
Sylvan Lake
Sylvan Lake.
area, yeah, in Red Deer, Central Alberta,
Amazing.
and quite a
Camrose.
few families.
I'm from
Oh
Camrose.
my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not too
Yeah.
far from
Good
you.
people come from the prairies, Alexis.
I know.
Good, hardworking, farmer types, right? Who
Yeah.
can
Go
catch
Team
me.
Alberta. I love that. You're from Alberta too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So I
literally
guess,
like 40 minutes from Camrose.
oh my
Oh, no
gosh,
way.
that's
That's so
wild.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
All of our
I
roots.
guess I just wanted to know what,
Yeah.
the sort of that what if, because I know a lot of
Yeah.
businesses that basically still operated but underground. They
Mhm.
didn't, they didn't really comply per se.
Yeah.
And is there a fairly, how do I say this? Is it a fairly secure property in the sense that, I'm not saying a fortress, but that sounds really paranoid. I'm just saying, push come to
Yeah.
shove, can it be like, hey, we run this, if you don't want to come in to be in a group setting, you don't have to. Like, tell me you're not going to enforce masks, because I'm a mask hole. I really am. It's not something I'm
I mean, obviously,
ready
there's going to
I
be
think
under the scenes, and there's going to be risk
Yeah.
involved with any investment. So, what at the end of the day, we are operating with great care and intention as we're navigating through this process. We don't know what's
Yeah.
what's going to happen in the future. Nobody does.
Yeah.
We don't have a
Yeah.
crystal ball, but what we do know is that we're working with aligned individuals who are working with intention and care every step of the way. And the good thing that this property holds is that it is very, very private, as we had mentioned several times right now. And we do have the flexibility for multiple streams of income. So if there was a transitionary phase that happened, well, guess what? Now we're creating this community. So we're quite
Yeah.
flexible with that.
Yeah, I'll just speak to the financial piece. So actually, we've already accounted for that in our financial projections and budgets. So around, I think it's around $100,000 of our capital raise actually goes into a contingency fund. And then actually 70% of profits after, so our kind of profit breakdown is profits that come through the property after expenses. It gets diverted. So 30% goes to our partners. And for 5 years, 70% goes into a contingency fund. Okay. This contingency fund will just take place, that 70-30 breakdown takes place over 5 years. So that what happens is, say you want to get bought out because it's a minimum 5-year hold. Say you invest and then Quillen, like 5 years later, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna move to Sweden and join a nunnery, or I'm gonna start my own retreat center in Mexico. Like, I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? Lives, right? But
So
one of
creative.
the issues,
I love
yeah,
it.
one of the issues that I experienced before was being part of a project, and then when it came time to buy me out, they didn't have the money, right? Or say COVID happens and you're like, holy fuck, like it's really important that there's actually a contingency fund that is held by the property. So that's kind of how we've set things up so that we're not going to run into like an issue where, oh, guess what? Heather wants to, leave the project, but we don't have the money to pay her out, or we don't have someone to replace her. That contingency fund is what actually is going to be building over 5 years as profits come in. So 30% gets diverted to get, dispersed between our partners, and then 70% goes into a net contingency fund. So our investors will get kind of quarterly reports on what the financials are, which I think is really important for anyone investing in a project, that there's just a lot of transparency. Obviously, we're going to have an accountant to do up the reports. So, it's not my zone of genius, accounting. I'm going to be managing the property because I'm more about like the systems and structures. But our accountant will be the one to do a report, show like what's in the contingency fund. Obviously, board members slash partners, we can vote on expenses and purchases that need to happen over a certain amount of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that answer
Appreciate
kind of answer that
Yeah,
question?
it's just,
A great
I
question.
think it's sort of that, addressing the elephant in the room that a lot of people don't want to. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not some fear monger. I'm a realist. And it happened 6 years ago, come March, and businesses folded, like literally folded, not just here in Canada, but around the world, right? Especially certain sectors. So it just was really something that, hey, we don't know what's going to happen, but if there's contingency and reserves in place, and especially if it can be essentially self-sufficient, right? It's got a garden and access to
chickens.
It
has chickens. I forgot to mention.
Perfect, right?
There.
And the garden and the water, and so it is self-sufficient as well. And it's also very private. That's another thing, that it's like there's like barely anyone around us.
We have a ghost town on one side. We have a couple of neighbors on the other, but it's like apparently they're just summer homes. Like people don't live in them year round.
It's
which they could also maybe get bought up by other people that want to live next to us. That are friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you giving me the time to ask.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Heather, did you have any questions at all?
I'm just happy to be here and to see a breakdown of your plan. It's super exciting. I love what you're doing. I brought one of my friends, Patrick, onto this call because he is, got some investment properties, and we're actually kind of exploring building a wellness community here in the Edmonton area. So it just felt very kind of in line with that, and it's something I wanted to share with him, and I'm kind of curious if he has any questions or thoughts percolating.
Well, thanks, Heather. Well, it's funny because I was gonna text you like, what should we say? Like, are we? Yeah. So I've been an investor like forever, and had the typical rental properties and stuff, and over the last number of years had transitioned my rentals to short-term stays, and then I had a partner where she was a yogi, and so we had set up one of our properties where we have the silks. Like she specialized in aerial yoga. So we did a lot of sound baths and it just became one of those experiences. And so, over the last year and a half, I just kind of fell into this experiential space because we also belong to the spiritual center and stuff. And so yeah, we've been having a lot of I was going to say experience, a lot of really positive vibes with it. So now I've put under contract a few more properties to really expand, this type of, wellness and I guess experiential space that Amy, I guess you've been curating for 15 years. I didn't even know that was a thing. But mind you, it's funny because I had did some rental arbitrage with 8 Airbnbs in Mexico, and it was during COVID actually, and I was making like it was crazy how much money I was making in Mexico in Playa, Hanover, like it was just crazy. And then once the US said, okay, you workers, you got to get back to work because so many people were working remotely,
Oh,
and I had a bunch of yogis and stuff like that. And yeah,
yeah.
it was awesome. But then once they said, okay, back to work, then it was like shit.
Yeah.
My properties here were basically funding that property there, and I was just like, oh man, but I guess what Jacqueline was saying too, I mean, shit, Italy was like the epicenter of COVID. Like, I mean, everyone was, like it was like ground zero, really. Because I mean, obviously they had a lot of older people there and stuff. So, but that being said, I mean, yeah, this property you have like with 54 rooms, and that's what I've done too, is I've gone to a hybrid model as well, where we have some LTRs and STRs. So we have the long term as well as the short term. So what you're stating there makes a lot of sense with regards to the hybrid part of
Yeah.
it. So you don't, because I had commercial properties like with co-working spaces, and the thing that I learned from there was non-essential businesses. Like I had nail salon, lash girls and stuff like that, and then it was like boom, they shut that down. So I was like, oh man, so it's
Mhm.
all about pivoting, right? So
Yeah.
I did
Mhm.
learn that there is some things that I've learned from COVID that you just essentially you just got to learn to pivot, and
Pivot.
then you put in place what you feel is gonna absolutely work. And I feel the hybrid model is the way to go, and the experiential model is
Yeah.
really like really growing for sure.
Massively growing. Yeah. 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 Thanks for bringing that up, Patrick. And like again, just community too, right? Like not even just international community, but I mean, we're really close to Rome. I actually have connections with a lot of communities now in Rome because I've been going back in the last 3 years. I have friends there. Like I have friends in Italy now, and they're like, "When are you opening? Like, we want to come. Like, we want to have events there." So it's kind of nice too. That's not just hitting an international market, but we can have things like micro festivals. I met a bunch of founders of tantra festivals down in Italy when I was there, a month and a half ago, which is great. They're like, maybe we could do a tantra festival at your property. I'm like, great, like awesome, let's do it because we can do it there, you know. Um, I saw Judy. I'm not sure if she's still here, if she wanted to ask any questions. Maybe she popped off,
So
but
yeah, just popped off.
oh darn.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like lastly, I didn't get a chance to share about it, but also from like, with running retreats, like I have a lot of events that happen here, and I've done a lot of retreats, and people like, yeah, like I can retail some of my retreats upwards of $7,000 a pop, because they are like couples retreats, intimacy retreats. So just in terms of like, the possibility for like revenue doing, weekend experiences, breath work. I'm part of like quite a worldwide network of facilitators and people that do retreats, which is also really important too. So it's not like I want to run a retreat center and I've never done a retreat. It's like I have a lot of experience, and it's like the next step, in expansion. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, there she is.
Judy, nice to see you.
Hi. Oh, I don't know. My computer went black, and I'm like, I don't know what
Oh
happened
no.
to it.
Good to
Yeah.
see you. We have another
Yeah.
fellow professional in the room.
That's thank you. I'm so proud of what you guys are doing. I'm so impressed, and I'm here. I love supporting you and contributing in ways that maybe down the road might be possible. I have lots of people that do retreats, and I'm going on a couple with you in the next few months even, and we're always looking for new spaces to have them at. So I just think this is a fantastic deal too. Like what a deal you got it for.
What a deal. Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
negotiating, and that's fantastic too that you have so much experience as well, Amy. With yeah.
Well, we have a good team, with
Mhm.
Alexis, myself, my friend Jessie has been amazing. She's over there in Italy. Like she's been there for 14 years. So she knows she's got
Mhm.
contacts at the Wazoo. Like that really helps. And it's just like the synchronicity. I'm like, what are the odds that she lives 30 minutes away from like that's kind of mind blowing, and I've known
Right.
her for 15 years. So it's just the synchronicities. And actually, I'll share this little story. When we went to the property, um, we get there just on time because we drove in from Rome. We had a little snafu with our rental car, which I won't go into, but we get to the property and, well, the real estate agent, he's a Reiki master. And I'm like, no shit. Okay. I'm like looking at Alexis. So like, okay. And then I'm like, synchronicity number one, check. And then, we walk into the property and I just like almost started crying immediately, just like the feeling of home, right? Like I'm a big feeler and didn't get that feeling from the other 6 properties we looked at during our time there. And then towards the end of the visit, he's like, I want to show you something, Amy, like come to the back of the property with me. So he takes us to the back and wow, he brings us to this giant Ankh statue that's at the back of the property. And I just found out I'm part Egyptian like last year. And I just started like crying. I was like, oh my God, like the sign, and for me that's really important. And also to the owners, the current owners like have been running retreats there. They're very spiritual people. They started a school for children, a free school for children in Guatemala, like just really heart-centered people, but they're too old. Like their website was built in the 90s, like, they don't have the capacity to run it to its full potential. And so it just really feels like this could be a beautiful way to honor their legacy, create something really meaningful, and also become a bridge between all of our different communities and the Italian community there, right? Because they have a lot of beautiful gifts to offer, but so do we. We have the gifts of like breath work, transformational medicine, community gatherings. And we're in deep prayer and trust with this project. And so if there is also anyone that that might be interested in supporting in some capacity, we welcome introductions and invitations to share this message. But we're looking to close on the property in the next month and a half. So we are moving forward. Month and a half too, Alexis. 2
I
months.
mean, things go a little bit slower there than it does here. So, I think I'm thinking like late spring is kind of what we're looking at personally. Um, it just things take a lot longer there, and this is a very complex deal that we're working through right now with multiple layers. With it, but they're more than willing to work with us. Like the thing that I love is that the existing sellers on site are willing to work with us for the transitionary phase, and they believe in what Amy and I are doing, and they're there to help us as well. So the good thing about this is like it's not just like a transaction. They're here for more of a transition, and they're going to be available to us and for us to really see this through.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Just so great. So great. Yeah. Even if I can't invest in this one, I'd be very interested in your future projects. Like I loved when I saw some of the videos too of you walking on the property, that courtyard. It's just so unique. It's
Yeah.
a really great space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone too, just for joining today and just, coming to learn more. And, if you want to set up a private call with myself and Alexis, feel free to reach out to us by email or Instagram. I can also put just our general email below. There, I see that we're at time. Gosh, an hour goes by so fast.
Mhm.
Was there any final questions before we begin to close the call? Was there any like burning concerns, or you're just like,
What is the, like, as an investor co-owner, is there registration on title, or how does that, and that can be later. I know, Alexis, as a realtor, you kind of know why I asked that because of my mortgage
Mhm.
brokerage. I still own one, but, and how is that able to quantify into, what is it, like the status, like to live in Italy, or do you have to have a minimum of the 500,000 to become, I guess, a dual citizen, or have more than one residencies? I don't know. Is that something that is?
that's a great question.
Yeah, that's a really
And if
great
you don't
question,
know,
especially when it pertains to living there, because I guess we didn't yeah,
So
because if you were
how
wanting to stay on site, that's a different conversation.
yeah,
Yeah.
how it works is that
Oh,
which is basically an online, if you have an online business, or you can show that your work is not dependent in person. You just put that through the visa application, and then you just renew it annually. There's also a business visa. So if you invest into an Italian business, which is what you would be doing as an investor, I think it's a 250, 200, 250, then you would actually get a business visa. Okay. So because you would be investing into an Italian corp, which is what is actually going to be holding the property. And this is for a few reasons, because we will be distributing shares that's associated with your ownership of that property. And also it's better for visas, right? Because then you can be like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I am investing into an Italian corporation versus us just going on title and buying the property as individuals. It just makes everything a lot cleaner, right? So then you can exit versus like us having to destroy resell the property basically, right? If you wanted to leave. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how the structure is set up. I think there's a few other visa options. There's like a retirement visa. But if you want to look at exploring that, we can sit down and talk with you about that.
And my business is nomadic anyway, so I'm not tied to any, as long as I have stable Wi-Fi. How stable is the Wi-Fi? Really important question.
Yeah, I mean they have Wi-Fi there right now. We'll be doing Starlink.
I was just going to say I'd probably have a Starlink portable one, because they're just a lot more reliable. Okay.
amazing. Well, thank you everyone who joined us on this call today. It's truly such a blessing and an honor sharing everything that Amy has created. And if you guys have any other questions, we're going to have a recording that I can send out as well, and would be more than happy to book a meeting for further details. Amy, did you have anything else to share?
I'm just really grateful. It's so nice to just connect to some friends and just pop on, and just really excited. It's really exciting. Like I'm seeing this as being like the next evolutionary stage. A lot of people I know right now, they're in the stages of creating retreat centers, and I think that they're going to become hubs for community, because we're here for the awakening of the planet, for love, for healing, to help bring people back into relationship with the earth, ourselves, each other. So I think we're all, the people that I'm calling in anyways for this project are aligned with that mission. Quillen, as you know, too, I would say we're all kind of aligned in that regard. So but thanks everybody, and have a beautiful week. Have a beautiful, beautiful week.
Thank you,
Thanks, Amy.
ladies.
If I have any questions, could I reach out to you as well, via your email and stuff, like even on some of the projects that I'm working on? Because I mean, we're aligned in some ways, and I'd love to align with that project as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Just pop me an email, and then I can just send like a booking link, and you can book a call with me at your own scheduling availability. We can hop on and just chat. Yeah. I love that.
100%. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome, everybody. Sending my love.
Okay, thank you.
Love, blessings. Have a blessed day.
Bye.
You as well. Bye.